Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I'm bringing you guys my hand test combo tutorial video on how to play my Exodia GOAT format deck, which I profiled just yesterday on the channel. So if you guys do enjoy this one, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and make sure that you guys have that notification bell on. I would really appreciate it. Also go ahead and check out all of the links down in the description for all of the channel's sponsorships, as well as the Patreon, if you guys are interested in helping to support the channel. But anyways, I am going to go ahead and shuffle up the deck, and we are going to get right on into this combo tutorial. Alright guys, we are just finishing up our pile shuffle here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Oh my gosh, I can't talk now. If you guys enjoyed the deck profile, if you guys had not seen the deck profile, definitely go ahead and double check that out, because it has all of the info on the spells and stuff that we are running in the deck to make sure that we can get into Royal Magical Library as soon as possible and get to the Exodia pieces as soon as possible. So we are all shuffled up here. We are gonna, oh nice, we're starting off with a left arm. We got a Pot of Greed, that's pretty good. Feather of the Phoenix to be able to recycle Pot of Greed is nice. Graceful Charity, Royal Magical Library, and a Toon World. Okay, Toon World is kind of poopy, but this is a phenomenal hand that you want to open up with. Basically, Royal Magical Library plus either of these two is really amazing. So we're going to start off with summoning out the Royal Magical Library. Then we're going to activate Pot of Greed so we can draw into more like discard fodder. So we're going to Pot of Greed here. We'll draw into those two. And then we're just going to go ahead and, so we got a counter. If I misplay some of the counters and stuff, you know, we'll try to keep the right count at least, but sometimes I kind of like forget which one I'm going into next. But we're going to activate the Graceful Charity to be able to draw 3 cards off the top, and then discard 2. I'll also get the counter over there. So this is a great moment where we want to discard the Royal Magical Library so we can hopefully draw into a copy of our Premature Burial eventually. Toon World really does us no good unless we would use like Reload to put it back into the deck, but just assuming that we don't really need it right now, we're just going to go ahead and, well, also we could just get rid of Messenger of Peace, because we could also draw into another one. So I'm going to say that we're probably going to draw a Reload a little bit later, so getting rid of Messenger of Peace isn't too big of a deal to me, so that means that we can thin the deck later more and get to Toon World as long as that all works out. The unfortunate part, though, is that Messenger of Peace is really nice. With our Giant Trunade, we could also just get rid of a Dark Factory Mass Production. It just kind of comes, just depends on what our preference is, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold on to, we'll actually hold on to the Messenger of Peace. We'll get rid of this Dark Factory of Mass Production, I think. Nope. As I'm saying that, I'm just going to take that back right away. We're going to discard the left arm of Exodia instead for the Graceful Charity, because we have the Dark Factory Mass Production. So we can always afford to discard one more of our limbs, and then we're able to get back those pieces. So what we're going to do now is we are actually going to activate, so we have Convulsion of Nature. We're going to activate that right away in order to flip our deck upside down, and now we can sort of start seeing what are going to be the next cards on the top of our deck. I'll probably try to keep the deck right here so you guys can sort of see it as we go. So now we do have our third counter on here, and we're able to draw our next card. Just because it doesn't matter, I just want to be curious. I want to see, oh, okay, so our next card would have been Toon Table of Contents. Not that it matters, but we're just going to add that to our hand. We're drawing by, sorry, I didn't really say, we're drawing by using our counters there. So Royal Magical Library already putting in some mileage. Now we're going to activate the level limit area B, and then we're also going to activate Messenger of Peace, which is going to give us our next 2 counters. We'll also activate Toon World. Toon World is going to cost us 1,000 life points, so we got to keep all of that in mind. But now we are going to be at 3, so we can draw these, and we can draw into our Reload. Now we are going to activate our Giant Trunade, and this is where the Reload with Giant Trunade and Toon World all comes in handy. So this is why Toon World is still really good in here, as long as you're running Giant Trunade and all this kind of stuff. Now, because Convulsion of Nature is gone, we do need to keep in mind that the deck gets flipped back the correct way. We also have 1 counter with the Giant Trunade. And now, since we have no Exodia pieces, we do want to hold on to our Feather of the Phoenix, because we have really good stuff in the graveyard. But I think we can just go ahead and get rid of everything else. We might also just want to hold on to one of our Dark Factory Mass Productions, just so we don't lose sight of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to reload, and reload for 5. So we're going to send, oh, sorry, not the Giant Grenade. Reload for 4. So we're going to send those 4 all back into, maybe actually no, we don't want to, because these cards are all really, really good. So my bad. We are going to hold on, waiting on the reload, I think. We want to probably hold on to all of these cards. Sorry, this is a little bit clunky. We might as well go Feather of the Phoenix now that I'm thinking about it. We'll go Feather of the Phoenix. And we're just going to say screw it on the reload and just discard the Toon World, just because there's better stuff to draw into later anyways. So we're going to discard that Toon World, get rid of that, and then we are going to put our Graceful Charity right back to the top of our deck. So Graceful Charity is onto the top, and we also have one more of our counters. And all we have to do now is we're not going to activate Convulsion of Nature. We're going to activate our level limit area B to get to our third one. We'll take that off and draw into our Graceful Charity. I think that was the smarter route. It just took me a little bit of a second to see the route there, but we're going to activate the Graceful Charity, get ourselves another counter, and we will draw into our next 3 cards. Overall, pretty good draws there, because now we have the Toon Table of Contents. So we're going to start off with that after this, we have to discard yet. So we're going to discard one of our reloads and one of the Messenger of Pieces. That's overall not too difficult to decide. We're going to activate Toon Table of Contents, pick up this Toon Table of Contents. So we have one. We're going to activate this Toon Table of Contents to be able to pick up our last copy from the deck. And unfortunately, we got rid of the Toon World earlier, but I think it was just a sacrifice that had to be made. But now we are at 3 counters again, and we are now able to take those off and draw one more card. Now we have a Giant Trunade, which, like I've said, is basically a Upstart Goblin for the deck. So we're just going to activate all of these cards again. We'll activate Convulsion of Nature. Now we can see what we're about to draw, and we're about to draw into a copy of Upstart Goblin, which is really cool. We'll activate Messenger of Peace, which would get us to 2, and then we will activate our Giant Trunade, adding all 3 of these back into our hand. Giant Trunade hits the graveyard. We now get that. We'll take that off, draw again, and then we will activate Upstart Goblin, and I see a piece of Exodia coming our way, so that's pretty good. So we'll activate Upstart Goblin, draw this card, activate Level Limit Area B, get that. Oh no, I messed that up. So we can't get this piece of Exodia because the deck would now be flipped face down. I know I'm about to get roasted for that in the comments, so I'm not going to let it happen. So off of the Upstart Goblin, we actually would have drawn, wow, another Upstart Goblin. Okay, so Level Limit Area B, this was the counter for that. We'll activate this Upstart Goblin to be able to draw a card, putting our last counter on. We'll draw again. I believe I'm doing all of these correctly. We will use Convulsion of Nature. All right, and so now that Convulsion of Nature is on the field, we can flip the deck. All right, and we have a piece of Exodia coming our way. The next thing we would want to do, what do we have going on? So we've used all of our Toon cards, we've used our Upstart Goblins and whatnot, so our opponents have tons of life points. But we're basically going to activate Messenger of Peace, get one more counter there, and now we can do a really cool thing, and we'll activate a Feather of the Phoenix. So we'll activate that, discard our right leg of Exodia, so that now we're going to have 2 pieces of Exodia. And with the Feather of the Phoenix, we're going to get Graceful Charity back to the top of our deck, which is going to get us to our 3 counters. We're then going to take those off to be able to get our Graceful Charity back to our hand. Then we'll activate our Dark Factory of Mass Production first. That way we can get more cards in our hand, more discard fodder if we were to end up drawing into a copy of Graceful Charity again. Oh my gosh, wait, what now? So that's just the 1 counter on there. Just in case we were able to draw into more discardy stuff, more copies of Dark Factory. So we should still have 1 more copy of Dark Factory, 1 more copy of Feather of the Phoenix. So there's unfortunately not a lot of cards that I want to discard at this point. But we're going to go ahead and Graceful Charity, and oh my gosh, ooh boy, so we're drawing those, so we kind of have to discard our Toon Table of Contents and reload, but then is our turn going to be over? So we went Graceful Charity. Got to think on this a little bit. So we kind of need the reload. I think what we're going to do is we're going to reload. We're going to keep reload. We're going to get rid of our right leg of the Forbidden One in our discard here, just so we have another spell card. So it's a little bit weird, but we're going to go ahead and use that reload now. we'll send these 3 cards back into the deck. So I guess just to keep it fair, we're going to still shuffle the deck a little bit here, and this is going to be our 3 counters. So like we get to draw 3, and then we get to draw 1 more card. So overall, I think it works pretty darn good. So we'll flip over here, and we have a level limit area B. So that's going to be our 1, 2, and 3. So Archfiend's Oath, this is already like another draw, so that's really, really good. So I think that we took a pretty good risk back there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take that off to be able to draw, and we get a Giant Trunade. So overall, I think that that was a really, really, really solid reload. So we're going to activate our Archfiend's Oath. And we're going to activate the Oaths effect and call Archfiend's Oath here. So this is amazing. This is exactly what you want, is you want to get multiple Archfiend's Oaths. So this is on there. We draw the Archfiend's Oath, basically. Then we're going to activate our copy of Giant Trunade. Giant Trunade will get us 1 more counter, and all of these cards are going to go back into our hand. And now we basically have this duel on lock. So this is going to be just basically how we want it to go. We're going to activate our copy of oh boy. Okay, so we got to make sure that we're doing this properly. So the deck is down, but we're still, yeah, we're able to activate Convulsion of Nature. We'll flip the deck, wait, okay, so we want to see, what did we have? So we had Royal Magical Library. It's actually maybe more, it's more advantageous for us to not even draw that Royal Magical Library. So we're going to activate our Archfiend's Oath, which gets us to our 3rd counter. We'll take this off to draw, so we will draw our next card. Cool, so we got a piece of Exodia. That's arguably better than Royal Magical Library at this point. Next thing that we're going to do is now we can go ahead and activate our Convulsion of Nature, flip back face down, or whatever, upside down. So that's going to get us to there. We will call Royal Magical Library on our Archfiend's Oath, which we are able to get to our hand, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. I love that combo. It's so, so cool. Sorry, and you guys can't even like see my full hand because the hand's getting so big. I'll try to keep it showing off as much as I can. So we have our Royal Magical Library there. We're going to activate another copy of Archfiend's Oath, and we're going to use its effect, paying another 500 life points to be able to call the Dark Factory of Mass Production. Very, very cool. We'll get that. So then we are going to be at 2 counters on here. We'll also activate a copy of level limit area B, getting us to 3 on that, and we will go ahead and draw 1 card. We'll get our Convulsion of Nature. Oh no, now we're seeing way too many of the Convulsion of Natures. That's not good at this point. Okay, so this does look a little bit weird, but we actually just have to end our turn here. Overall, we have a pretty good position yet. We are going to have to discard a card, so this is where we could just discard another copy of the Exodia piece. That way our Dark Factory of Mass Production is going to be live. So during the end phase, we'll discard our right arm of the Forbidden One, and then we are going to pass to our opponent. Basically, our opponent's going to go and stuff. We could have also activated another copy of Messenger of Peace, just for a little bit of backup. So technically, activate Messenger of Peace, and then we wouldn't have had to do that. But so basically, our opponent's going to go. We'll draw Convulsion of Nature. Nothing really happens. Okay, but overall, I feel like we're going to be able to stay fairly good on this board. Like if our opponent gets rid of any of these cards, we're still going to be sitting pretty okay. But we're just going to say that we get through this. During our standby phase, we can elect to not pay the Messenger of Peace. So we draw the Convulsion of Nature. Then what we're going to do is we're going to activate Archfiend's Oath. We're going to call a Swords of Revealing Light. We get that to our hand. We're going to use this Archfiend's Oath, call Archfiend's Oath, and we get that. We could then go ahead, and what do we want to do now? We are kind of stuck here again, so we put the Royal Magical Library in defense position. We could also activate Swords if we really wanted to, but I feel like we're still pretty safe. Again, this is just sort of hypothetical, so it kind of does show you that, like, even if you do have a busted hand, you sometimes can't get there. It is still a little bit luck-based, but you know, because we used all of our giant Trunades and stuff, so we are out of those, so we can't even draw a giant Trunade. So we do need to be mindful of our zones. So we're just going to pass to our opponent. Our opponent's going to go. Let's say that they pass to us, and we're going to go ahead and draw for turn, Premature Burial. We will then use Archfiend's Oath, call Exodia the Forbidden One. We go there, boom. This Archfiend's Oath, we call again, call Card Destruction. We'll draw that. And then we can't really do too much else. We could, I don't think we can Card Destruction because we are going to have too much setup in the graveyard by that point. We could have also summoned another Royal Magical Library. There is a few things we could do. We could have, Man, yeah, so we are stuck until we get another copy of A Feather of the Phoenix. So basically actually during this end phase, we can get rid of one of our Exodia pieces in the hand. We get rid of Archfiend's Oath just to get our hand slimmed down. And then basically next turn we would win. So as long as we can stick on this, we could even, no, we can't use Swords of Revealing Light. So we are going to just sit on our hand of that, I guess, and pass to our opponent. Sorry, I guess we have to also get rid of this Convulsion of Nature. Sorry, then we are at 6. So we will pass to our opponent. Our opponent's going to go, they can't do anything. Or we could even say that they blow up this entire board. Our opponent can blow up everything. They can damage our life points down to 100 life points. Then we draw for turn. We're going to draw. We're going to draw our left leg of the Forbidden One. Activate Dark Factory and Mass Production, and get these back. So we still win this in like 3 or 4 turns. All right, guys, so we're going to see what we can do better than that last hand. The main thing that we didn't get to see early enough in the last hand was the Archfiend's Oath. So hopefully we'll see that a little bit earlier this time. That is going to help tremendously. I think that was the big reason why we weren't able to FTK there. So we're going to go ahead and draw. We're going to get a Giant Trunade, a Convulsion of Nature, and Archfiend's Oath. That right there is like the trifecta. Now we just need to get to Royal Magical Library. And this right here is a very, very strong opening hand. The Dark Factory, Mass Production, and Messenger of Peace don't really do us anything right now. I guess it does work for the Giant Trunade to be able to use for the Messenger of Peace, so I shouldn't say that. Overall, this is a very strong hand. So we're going to open up with the Royal Magical Library. We'll start off by activating the Convulsion of Nature, flip our deck upside down, activate that Archfiend's Oath, and we're going to call the left arm of the Forbidden One. And oh my gosh, look what's sitting on top of our deck. So we'll get that as a freebie, and also we should have two counters by now. What we are going to do next is we are going to activate our copy of Messenger of Peace, which is going to get us to our 3rd copy. And we also have to be mindful that we did activate Archfiend's Oath for 500. So you just need to be mindful of that in case like you end up doing it a whole bunch. So we're going to activate the effect of Royal Magical Library, and we'll draw into a Toon Table of Contents, which is really, really strong, which is going to allow us to be able to draw a lot more. So we're going to activate that right now. And that's actually going to get us to Toon World, which is going to be another continuous spell for us. So that's really, really good. So we're going to do that. That'll be one. We'll activate our 2nd Toon Table of Contents, getting us to wherever the other one is, and then we'll activate the 3rd Toon Table of Contents. Oh, my bad. Trying to keep up there. All right, we have our 3rd Toon Table of Contents to be able to get ourselves to our copy of Toon World, which is going to be amazing to combo off with our copy of Giant Trunade. So I think this really looks like a winning hand to me. I think overall this one looks like it's going to be really, really good. So we need to keep in mind that our deck is flipped upside down for Convulsion of Nature. We are going to take these off and draw 1 card, and we have another copy of Giant Trunade, which is insane. So we're going to activate our Toon World, get 1 of those, then activate our copy of Giant Trunade, being able to get us 1 more of those, and we are going to bounce all of these cards right back to our hand. We also have to be mindful that Toon World cost us another 1,000. We are going to activate our, and now these cards are flipped, but we'll activate Convulsion of Nature, just so there's no confusion there. Then we get to, or actually, there is a little bit of strategy to this, because reload, does reload really help us out that much? Not really, but whatever. We're going to be drawing into these cards anyways. There's no knowing what other cards are on top or what's underneath the reload, so we're just going to do it. So we are going to take these off, draw the reload, and again, there's just not that much good stuff showing up right now, but we'll use the Archfiend's Oath. We'll use its effect to call the Dark Factory of Mass Production, getting that into our hand for free, or kind of for free. That's going to cost us another 500 life points, and we get another counter, which is really cool. We'll activate Messenger of Peace, another copy of Toon World. So that's going to get us to 3 more. We'll take those 3 off to get ourselves a free draw, which is going to be really, really good. Then we are able to activate this copy of Giant Trunade, and I already see that we have another copy of Giant Trunade coming, which is insane. So we're going to activate those. Deck is flipped back down, but we're going to activate Convulsion of Nature, because obviously we see that Giant Trunade, we want it. So this is exactly how you want the deck to run. The only way it would be better is if we had a 2nd copy of Royal Magical Library, but we haven't been able to discard anything, and we have not seen our Premature Burial yet. So, but we are going to activate Archfiend's Oath. We'll use Oath again to be able to call Giant Trunade, so we will pick that up. We should be at 2 counters on here now. We'll activate the Messenger of Peace, being able to get us there. I also think I forgot one of the Toon World costs, so we're actually down 3,000 life points already, which is kind of crazy. But we can take those 3 off and draw our copy of Reload. We have another copy of Archfiend's Oath coming, which is also really, really strong. And we have to be mindful of not clogging up our zones too much. But what do we want to do next? So next we want to probably go Giant Trunade, or actually no, we wanted to still go Toon World first. So we're going to go Toon World, which is going to take us to down 4,000 life points. So we've already used half of our life points here, but Royal Magical Library is going to be there. We'll use this Giant Trunade, so we've already used all of our Giant Trunades. Put all of these back to the top of our, or back into our hand. Use the Convulsion of Nature because we want to get to that next Archfiend's Oath. We'll activate Archfiend's Oath. Use the Archfiend's Oath to be able to get this Archfiend's Oath to our hand by calling Archfiend's Oath. Sorry, I keep saying Archfiend's Oath so much. We now have a 9-card hand, which is really good. Now about to be 10. So we'll take these off and add Upstart Goblin to our hand. We'll activate the Upstart Goblin, add this Exodia piece into our hand, which is really good, giving our opponent 1,000 useless life points. We'll activate this Archfiend's Oath and call Messenger of Peace, so we will get this into our hand. I'm just going to start getting all of the useless cards into the back of the hand, along with all of the Exodia pieces. So these 5 here really do nothing for us anymore. We've already used our Giant Trunades, so we don't want to use any cards that really don't give us any more advantage. I just double-checked the footage as well, and I saw that we never added a counter on Archfiend's Oath. That was bugging me for a second there. So we are really close to being able to draw another card off Royal Magical Library. We so far don't have any discards or anything. We still have Pot of Greed. We still have Graceful Charity in the deck somewhere. So I'm kind of tempted to just use Reload. That's really our only option, unless we would just activate 1 copy of Messenger of Peace and then just draw. But that only gets us to a level limit Area B. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to activate a Reload, which is going to be able to draw us 9 cards, basically 10, because that gets us another one here. So it feels kind of bad to lose these 3 Exodia pieces, but they're going back into the deck. They'll be fine. So I'm going to flip the deck down just so we're not doing anything shady. We'll also get our counter for Reload here. It would be really, really nice if we could Giant Trunade again. I guess we could technically do that if we did like if we drew a Feather of the Phoenix. So we're going to draw for 9 here, I believe it was. That's what I said, at least. I didn't really double check my counting, but I think I was right on that. So Reload, we're going to draw 1. We're going to draw 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's pretty good. 5, 6. That's really good. 7, 8, and 9. That is a really solid hand there because we have Graceful Charity, Foolish Burial, Royal Magical Library to all combo with each other. So what we're going to do here is we're going to activate a Feather of the Phoenix to be able to discard 1 card from our hand, and then we're going to target 1 card in our graveyard, which is going to be Giant Trunade. We'll put Giant Trunade onto the top of our deck. Then that is going to allow us to activate our copy of Premature. Do we want to go? So so actually we will just draw. So we'll draw our Giant Trunade off of the Royal Magical Library. Did I also? Oh, okay, I think I actually misplayed there. So we would have been able to draw another card, had another counter. So we would have actually gone Reload, got us to our 3rd one. And then we would have actually had 1 more for Feather of the Phoenix. So just so that we were staying perfect on this run, we're going to go back and put that counter on there. So this is the counter for Feather of the Phoenix. So now what we're going to do is we're going to activate our Premature Burial, which is also going to take off another 800 life points. So we are actually getting superly duperly close to like getting very low on life points. But we can now get our other Royal Magical Library from the graveyard, which is really, really cool. This is also going to be at 2 counters. And now we go Giant Trunade. Getting this to 3, I might just start having to count them this way. So we're going to go 3 and 1. So that's going to be how we're doing this. So the Giant Trunade goes through. These guys all go back to our hand. The Royal Magical Library stays. And now we are just able to go absolutely crazy. So now there's like no way that we shouldn't be able to get into everything that we need. So we are going to go ahead and activate our copy of Graceful Charity. No, we don't want to go Graceful Charity, my bad. We're going to draw off Royal Magical Library first. Then we're going to go ahead and activate that Graceful Charity. We'll draw 3 cards, and we could start getting rid of some Exodia pieces for free. basically, which really doesn't matter. It's kind of weird, but yeah, we might as well just do it because we have cards to get them back. So we'll get rid of these two. And then we can always use Feather of the Phoenix and stuff to do other shenanigans. We might want to still save that in case we get another Royal Magical Library. So what we are going to do is we're going to activate Dark Factory Mass Production, get those two right back. So basically makes Graceful Charity just a 1-card discard in a way. We are then going to be at 1 counter and 2. Then we're going to activate Convulsion of Nature again. Sorry, I forgot to flip the deck again, but we're just going to go like that. We're going to go Archfiend's Oath. We're going to call the right arm of the Forbidden One. Got to double check the name. So we're going to go right arm of the Forbidden One, pick it up for a measly 500, bringing us to 2,700 life points. We'll activate this Archfiend's Oath and call Dark Factory Mass Production, which is going to take us down to 2,200 life points, which is pretty darn crazy. We only have 3 Exodia pieces so far, which is also just absolutely bonkers, but we should still be able to figure something out here. Also, while I'm at it, I forgot to flip these, so that's going to be at 2, and this is going to be at 3 off of the Archfiend's Oath, I believe. So we will take this off. We will draw 1 copy of Convulsion of Nature. If we get to this reload, that would also be really good. So we will probably just activate Feather of the Phoenix. Yeah, let's go Feather of the Phoenix. And we're just going to discard a random card. We might as well just discard our copy of Toon World here. Or Toon World can also always just sort of be activated. So what's a card that kind of has a little bit of limitations on it? We don't really have any. We'll just get rid of a copy of Convulsion. No, we're just going to get rid of Toon World because we can't sacrifice the life points. So we'll do that. Put Graceful Charity back to the top of the deck, which means that this is now at 3. This is at 1. We then go ahead and take that off. Get our Graceful Charity back, which means that we can easily get to that Royal Magical Library, or to the reload. So we are going to be able to activate this Graceful Charity. Graceful Charity will draw us 3 cards. Oh my gosh, so good. This is now going to be at 2. This is just absolutely insane. We'll go 1 there. My hand is just an absolute pile right now, but Graceful Charity is going to discard Royal Magical Library and probably another Exodia piece, or maybe just to be safe, we'll just get rid of, why don't we just get rid of a Messenger of Peace, just because that doesn't really do us anything anymore. So we'll get rid of those. We will then go ahead and activate our Premature Burial once again, taking us to 1,400 life points. Holy smokes. And now we will have this Royal Magical Library on the field. There's almost really no reason to not reload, just because we could just draw a ton of cards. We could probably draw all of the Exodia pieces, and now all of our Royal Magical Libraries are going to be stagnating, which is also going to be really, really cool. We don't have anything else to really activate right now, so we are just going to go reload. I also need to double check quick if we did a counter on Premature Burial. Okay, and the answer is no, we did not. So actually with Premature Burial, this was supposed to be at 2, and this is supposed to be at 3. So we are going to take off here for this Royal Magical Library and draw 1 more card. And now with the reload, we are going to be going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. 10 card reload back into the deck, and reload is going to make this a 1, this is going to be a 3, and this is, oh no. This is going to be a 1 as well. So 10 cards back into the deck. Let's shuffle and see what happens. Can we just draw all 5 pieces of Exodia off of this draw right here? That would be super duper cool. It would be very, very metal. So just a quick recap again. We have, so also we get an 11th draw here as well. So we are going to see what happens. Convulsion of Nature is still in play. And we get an 11th draw basically off of this. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we didn't quite get there, but we can just reload once again. So we might as well just try for it. And we are also going to be able to end with like an Archfiend's Oath again later. So yeah, we're just going to go reload one more time. So we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So oh, no. Whoa. We don't reload. We go Upstart Goblin off of the draw there. My bad. Now we're going to go Upstart Goblin again there. So, okay. Just needed to get that right. Okay. So now we're going to be able to reload for 10. So we're going to go reload. And then the reload is going to be, we're going to be at 2, 2, and 1 there. So reloading for 10 once again. So we're going to shuffle quick. And again, we're going to see if we can pick up all 5 pieces of Exodia. I'm sorry for all of the clunkiness with the counters and everything. This is just a lot to handle at once. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5. So on 5 here, we're going to get to, on card number 5 here, we got 4 pieces already. We're going to go 6, 7. We got Pot of Greed. 8, 9, 10. Oh, man. And then we're just going to end it off with Pot of Greed and draw 2. So we assemble all 5 pieces of Exodia. So sorry, guys. That was a little bit clunky there for a while, but we figured it all out, right? So we still end with a good chunk of cards in the deck, in the hand, I guess, but overall, hopefully you guys enjoyed this combo tutorial. I thought that this one was really fun. It was a really great time being able to play with my new Starlight Exodia pieces. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Again, hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. I would really appreciate it. And we will catch you guys for the next GOAT format videos. Peace.